Welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal.
Mandio.
And we are KAMMA. We're back to talk about UFC Vegas 106, or some people like to say UFC Fight Night 256. But whatever you want to call it, this looks like it's going to be a pretty cool event, actually. This main event is going to be Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. But we're going to talk about our early predictions and breakdowns for the prelims. And we're going to talk about who's in the prelims. And right now we got the first fight, Luana Pinheiro versus Tisha Pennington. Then we got Hyung Sung Park against Carlos Hernandez. Then we have Denise Gomez against Elise Reed. Luana Santos against Tainara Lisboa. Connor Matthews against Yadier Del Valle. Jared Gordon against Thiago Moises. And the main event of the prelims here is Mateus Camilo versus Gabe Green. So we're going to start it off, Andy O, with the first fight of the prelims here. Tisha Pennington against Luana Pinheiro. But first, we're going to talk about a quick recap. Last week, great event. I went 9-3. Andy O went 8-4. I made some profit on the bets. It was a great card last week. Loved it. Let's hope to kill it again this week.
Hit on the dog of the week main event, Jack Della.
Yes, Jack Della Maddalena. Yeah, that was a good one, man. Good call. And yeah, man, I ended up going 9-3 because I switched my pick and went instead of taking Bruno Silva, I took what's his face to win.
All right, it doesn't matter because I took Bruno Silva, the bum. Anyway, all right, let's get it started here with Tisha Pennington and Luana Pinheiro. So Tisha Pennington, I thought may have been kind of like over the hill and may have been a little bit too much out of the game, since she had her kid and everything with Amanda Nunes there, but she seems to be kind of her old self. She's still very fast. She's like impossible to submit. Usually her fights go to decision. And Luana Pinheiro, man, she's been a little bit of a disappointment. I think right now I'm not even sure what she's really better at. Maybe the knockout or the sub. I used to kind of rate her subs, but even now I don't know anymore. So I'm just gonna have to stick with Tisha Pennington to like be able to outmaneuver Luana Pinheiro and just outvolume her and stay out of any submissions that Luana Pinheiro may get going if she gets her down. Just be squirmy, be scrabbling, and get back up to her feet again. So give me Tisha Pennington by decision.
All right, man. So yeah, I'm in agreement, man. I am going also with Tisha Pennington here. Luana Pinheiro has been on a 3-fight losing skid, man. She lost 3 fights in a row. The last one was against Jillian Robertson by unanimous decision. And then before that, it was against Angela Hill. She got submitted, which Angela Hill normally doesn't even do subs. And she managed to submit Luana Pinheiro with a mounted guillotine choke, which was pretty sick. And Amanda Ribas, the fight before that, knocked out Luana Pinheiro. So she has just not been looking good at all. And Tisha Pennington is not that much older, only 4 years older. Well, it says here 3 years older, but Topology has it at 31 and 35, but whatever. So yeah, 3 years older for Tisha Pennington. Not that much of an age difference there. And the only thing that Luana has on her is maybe a 3-inch height advantage. Her submission game is maybe a little bit better. She's got some decent jiu-jitsu, but when I've watched Luana Pinheiro fight, she hasn't really subbed anybody in quite some time. I mean, the last submission that she got was not even in the UFC, you know what I mean? And it was a long ass time ago in 2019.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what is she, a submission specialist anymore, or is she more of a knockout person, right? She doesn't seem to be able to get subs in the UFC, I guess, is the point here, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So, she's not that great. She beat Randa Marcos with an illegal move. It was a disqualification on Randa Marcos. And then she ended up beating Sam Hughes by unanimous decision, which was actually probably her best win out of her wins that she's had. And then she also beat Michelle Watterson in 2023 on when Michelle Waterson was getting washed up and on the decline. And then again, after that, she just lost all kinds there. Like three in a row, and even one when she was in a lower promotion also too. So not looking good for Luana Pinheiro. Tisha Pennington, on the other hand, we know who she is. She's a great fighter. She's fought the best of the best fighters. Last week, her last win was against Carla Esparza, unanimous decision. And then she did lose, but she loses only to the best of the best, like Mackenzie Dern and Tabitha Ricci. So she's only losing to very top-notch, high-level fighters. And just some MMA math for you. Tisha Pennington beat Angela Hill by unanimous decision, and Angela Hill submitted Luana Pinheiro. Just some MMA math there. So, Tisha Pennington is just way better than Luana. I got to go with Tisha Pennington to win by decision. As you can see here, she's got 12 decision wins out of her 14 wins, man. I got to go with the decision. Her grappling is amazing. She likes to stay on top, get that control time. Her striking is good, and I can see her ground and pounding Luana Pinheiro to a decision.
Ground and pound, eh? Ground and pound, eh?
Yeah, she gets on top
a pearl maybe coming up on that one.
Yeah, well, she likes to get on top of her opponents and, hit them with some punches there. So I don't think she'll knock out anybody, but I mean, it'll be enough strikes to, win the judges' scorecards there. All right, so we're in agreement with the first fight of the prelims. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Hyung Sung Park against Carlos Hernandez. So for this one here, I got to go with Hyung Sung Park here, man. This guy's actually been looking, pretty freaking good, man, since he's made it into the UFC. He's 9-0. Carlos Hernandez is 10-4. Hyung Sung Park is a Korean flyweight division fighter. His fighting style is like a striker with mixing it in with some BJJ and grappling. And we know him from the road to UFC semifinals. He beat the Topnoi Kuram by submission in the first round. And then in the UFC road to UFC finals, he beat the Choi Sung-guk by submission in the third round. And that's when he signed his UFC contract. In his last fight against Shannon Ross, he encountered some aggressiveness from Shannon Ross, but he ended up knocking him down with a jab. And in the second round, he hit him with another punch that took him down, and then he landed a kick to the body, and then started hitting him with some body shots and knocking him down. And that's how he ended up winning by TKO in that fight. So he also got a performance bonus in that fight. So Hyung Sung Park is looking really, really good, man. I like this guy. Carlos Hernandez, he's also a decent fighter as well. But, the guy's lost 3 out of his last 5 fights, losing to Alan Nascimento by submission, losing to Tatsuro Taira, which is not a bad look. Tatsuro Taira is amazing. But he got knocked out by him, and Tatsuro Taira is mostly known for submissions. And he lost also to Ray Tsuruya as well. So the last win against Nyamgirl Tumendemberol was a split decision too, and that even didn't look like that great of a win for him there. So I like Hyung Sung Park to get the win here. I just think he's a better fighter.
I got to go with peace of mind also here. Hernandez, yeah, he fought some decent guys, but he didn't get over those humps. And yeah, that fight against Tumendemberol should have looked better, that's for sure. As far as Park here goes, I think, he's going to win with his grappling, I think, and his wrestling. I think he even has more power than Carlos Hernandez.
He does.
But I do think Hernandez may be on the more technical side of things, so I expect better grappling, go to the grappling first, maybe surprise Hernandez with some power shots. And I see this as a pretty close fight, but I got to give a decision to Sung Park here for some peace of mind,
Nice one there. I see what you did there. All right, so we're in agreement with the second fight of the prelims, looking good. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Andy O's girl, Elise Reed, versus Denise Gomez here.
Well, funny stuff, man. But you know what else is funny? I got a little feeling about this fight. Okay? And you know how sometimes we mention you got to go with your feelings sometimes. Sometimes it's a wise thing to do. Let's start off by saying I wouldn't put Denise Gomez in any kind of parlay at this insane value. Let's just say that to start with. Number two, I don't trust Denise Gomez all that much. You know, with a 10-3 record, kind of like not always showing the greatest of smarts in there, I would say. And Elise Reed, man, never really showing much of anything. Except her striking is half decent if she keeps it on the feet. She's been working on her takedown defense. And I predict, because of my feeling, that we're going to see the best version of Elise Reed.
Oh, I knew it.
I'm going to say she fends off a couple of those takedowns after she hurts Denise Gomez a little bit. But it's going to be a little too late for Denise Gomez to do anything. She's going to win the last round. But Elise Reed is going to win a decision. Maybe even a robbery decision. Elise Reed, baby. I'm going with the dog.
Ah, I knew it. I knew
Oh,
it.
you didn't know it, man. I didn't know it until I think you even said my girl here, I think that's what tipped me over,
That's why I said your girl, Elise Reed. I
Yeah,
know you
Elise
always
Reed,
like her.
Elise Reed, no one's girl. But Denise Gomez, no one's man. I don't know. Maybe Gomez is going to have a little inner battle between her man side and her woman's side. That's going to kind of confuse her in there a little bit. And Elise Reed's going to capitalize on all of this confusion and squeak out an upset win. How many times have we seen low-level women, girls, where the massive underdog wins? This is a trap, man. Let me tell you, Gomez is going to keep it on the feet too long. She's going to have it be overconfident. I can beat this bitch. And Elise Reed, man, she's going to know what to do. We're going to see the best version we ever saw of Elise Reed on Saturday. And also, I predict we're never going to see that good of a version of Elise Reed ever again. So stay tuned.
All right, man. So a nice little long speech there for Elise Reed there, but yeah, no, I got to go with Denise Gomez here. She's just a better fighter, man. I mean, Elise Reed is good, sometimes, but she's been one of these win loss, win loss, win type of fighters. She's due for a loss, by the way.
You know what? I actually noticed that the win loss, and you're right. She is due for a loss.
If we follow that pattern, but look, Denise Gomez, man, I understand that the line is crazy. And whatnot, but it's for a reason, man. Denise Gomez, this is a fight she can win here. She's 7 years younger than Elise Reed. I find that she's a much better striker than Elise Reed. She's got much more power. As you can see here in her 10 wins, she's gotten 6 knockouts, 4 decisions. And when we talk about win or loss ratio, I mean, Elise Reed's not that great either, 8-4. I mean, you know what I mean? She's got a lot of losses as well. I do like the way Denise Gomez looked against Karolina Kowalkiewicz in her last fight, beating her up pretty good and winning a unanimous decision
It,
against her.
it's true, but I'll just say she was 117 years old.
And
Yeah.
the fight before that, she beat Eduardo Moura by split decision. She only lost to Angela Hill, and we can't give her, upset her for that. It was a unanimous decision for Angela Hill. But prior to that, she knocked out the big, huge prospect Yasmin Yaragui, who we saw how good she's been
But
her last fight, and she knocked her out.
she's only good when she doesn't get clocked in the chin immediately, and then she's really not good. Like Gomez beat her in 10 seconds.
And she also knocked out Bruna Brazil, which was also a pretty good knockout there as well with the right hook. I think that her power is going to be too much for Elise Reed. I think she's going to piece up Elise Reed, hit her with some hard strikes, and potentially maybe even knock out Elise Reed. Elise Reed, out of her 4 losses, 2 of them have been by knockout. So Elise Reed has been knocked out before. She's also been subbed twice, so she does get finished pretty. Often in her losses, they're all by finish. You know what I mean? So I can see Denise Gomez coming out here and either winning by knockout or decision. I don't know if she's going to sub Elise Reed, but I think the knockout is live. She punches way harder, and I think she could catch Elise Reed with a really hard punch and possibly knock her out. Man, Elise Reed hits like a dude. So yeah, I got to go with Denise Gomez hits like a dude. So I got to go with Denise Gomez by knockout or decision here.
Yeah, I didn't think I said decision for Reed.
All right, so we're in disagreement with this fight here. Hey, last week I hit on all 3 women in the parlay. I was happy about that one there. So let's see if we can do it again this week. We have 3 women fights, And the next one coming up right now, which is going to be Luana Santos against Tainara Lisboa. I was also in this one here. I was kind of thinking about what I was going to do if I was going to sway towards Lisboa here, but Tainara Lisboa hasn't fought in a year and a half. Last fight was against Ravina Oliveira. She won a unanimous decision there. And then the fight before that was against Jessica Rose Clark, where she subbed her. But it's been a year and a half layoff there, whereas Luana Santos just fought 8 months ago. So I like the fact that she's a little bit more active. Also, again, another huge age difference between the two of them. 25-year-old Luana Santos, 34-year-old Tainara. She's getting up there in age. And Luana Santos is, I find, the better jiu-jitsu out of the two. She is a submission specialist. She's got 4 submissions out of her 8 wins, 3 decisions, but she likes to get the fight to the ground. She likes to grapple. She likes to use her jiu-jitsu skills. And she showcased that against Maria Agapova in her last win, where she subbed her with a rear naked choke. And she beat Stephanie Egger also by unanimous decision, was managed to beat her up pretty badly. Also knocked out Juliana Miller, who we just saw a couple.
The killer, the killer.
Yeah, just a couple fights ago, Juliana Miller, we saw how good she looked there, and Luana Santos knocked her ass out. So I like what I'm seeing from Luana Santos, and I think this is a fight she can win. I'm going to go with Luana Santos here to win this one by submission or decision. I think Tainara Lisboa with the time off, I don't think she's even that great. She's only fought twice in the UFC, Tainara Lisboa. Luana Santos has fought more times in the UFC. She's got more experience. I like Luana Santos in this one, man. Sub decision for me.
Juliana Miller still not good.
Yeah, she's still not good, but I mean, we saw she looked good her last fight, and Luana knocked her out, man. So
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I like Luana Santos's judo here myself. I would be more confident in my pick. I am picking her if she could wrestle a little bit and take her down, but she suffers from that, you know, good judo, no wrestling kind of like curse there. But I do think she's going to end up tripping down Lisboa a few times there, and maybe even latching in a sub. I think though she has to stay away from getting into a pure striking battle with Lisboa, who I feel is probably the better striker and has a more power also. She is also going to be the bigger girl in there, I would believe, because Luana Santos is going up in weight here. But I think her judo is that good, man. I think she's gonna maybe catch an armbar or something. So give me Santos by decision or submission.
yeah, you're right. She is moving up in weight. I think the bantam weight is better for Luana. Lisboa is mainly a Muay Thai fighter, and you know that's where she won 2 titles in Thailand there in the Muay Thai. But she's been working on her grappling, but her jiu-jitsu skills is nowhere close to Luana Santos. You know, Luana Santos is known for her judo and her jiu-jitsu, man, and she's got really sick BJJ skills, and she even has a signature submission, the Kesagatame, which she uses into a Ude Garami, which is a crazy submission that she has. So she's very skilled.
That's something we have to keep our eye on for sure.
So let's move on up. We agree in this one. Both
Nice.
Luana Santos here by sub or decision for me. All right. Next fight we got Yadier Del Valle against Connor Matthews here.
Okay. Yeah. This is a close one here. I think to be honest, I don't think either of these guys are that great. I don't know if they really belong in the UFC. That being said, I've seen more of Connor Matthews in the UFC than Yadair, so I think I'm going to go with Yadair here. He's a decent grappler with some pretty good subs, but his problem is he has, I think, very little power. But you know, I was going to say, in order for Matthews to win this, he has to blend in his wrestling, which will be there. But I think DeValley is probably a better wrestler by a little overall than Matthews. Yeah, man. He just got knocked out too, fairly recently.
Yeah. Just 2 months and 3 weeks ago, he got knocked out by Jose Delgado.
So for that reason, That's gonna tip me over the edge on Yadira's side here, based on that's pretty recently to me, and the losses come from somewhere. Even a 7-3 guy, we can say that about. So give me Yadira, man, to just win it overall slightly, and use the grappling throughout to get it done by decision here.
Yeah, man, I'm on board, man. I'm going also for Yadier Del Valle. Yadier Del Valle, he's a southpaw fighter. He's got a vicious clinch and very good ground striking. He's got slicing elbows, brutal body knees. He's really a potent threat on the feet. Connor Matthews, man, has been losing as of late, like you just mentioned, Andy O. He got knocked out pretty badly too with an overhand right, and then ground and pound too by Jose Delgado in his last fight. And then not only that, he got knocked out again the fight before that against Dennis Bazooka, a guy that we've talked
Hey,
about in the past. Remember
a
Bazooka?
guy we talked about the most on this channel.
And Dennis Bazooka knocked his ass out, man, with a left hook as well. So I don't like the chin on Connor Matthews at all. And Connor Matthews has only fought twice in the UFC and lost both times. We can't even say that, oh, he's got some UFC advantage here. He's lost both fights. Yadier Del Valle, 28 years old in his prime, coming up here. He's a good prospect. I like this guy. He looks good. They call him
I,
the Cuban problem for a reason because he's a problem when he goes out there, man. Uh,
yeah,
the
I,
guy,
I I just haven't seen, like, I don't know how good he can be, but he should be good enough to beat Matthews. Let's put it that
yeah,
way.
he's got submission skills. He's got some knockout power, and he's very well rounded, man. He looked very good in the Dana White's Contender Series, even though he didn't get a finish. Dana White still signed him because he was like, look, he looked really, really good in that fight. He beat the fuck out of that guy, Antonio Montero, even though he didn't get the finish. Dana White still signed him because he looked that good. So I'm going to go with Yadier Del Val. I think he wins by knockout, just because Connor Matthews, man, knocked out twice in a row. I think his chin is very sus. All right. So we're in agreement with this one here. Let's move on up to the co-main event of the prelims. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe. We got Jared Gordon against Thiago Moises. So for this one here, this is a fight where I actually like this one for Thiago Moises, man. And I haven't picked Thiago Moises in a bit. He's been a guy also who's been winning, losing, winning, losing, winning. He's up and down. But Jared Gordon just lost two in his last fight against Nasrat Haqparast by split decision. I don't know if I really like Jared Gordon that much. Paddy Pimblett also beat him up a while back. He's 30,
Most say he won that fight, though.
yeah, but it was a unanimous decision for Paddy Pimblett still.
Yeah, yeah, but everyone thought Jared Gordon won that fight, including me.
Yeah, then he had that no contest against Bobby Green there, where they had the accidental clashing of heads there, and he did knock out Mark Madsden. But I mean, I think this is one of those fights where Thiago Moises is going to be able to shine here with his jiu-jitsu skills. I think his submission skills is where he's going to shine here. Getting the fight to the ground, getting Jared Gordon on his back is the way to go because Jared Gordon is more of a striker type fighter, and he doesn't really look that good when he gets taken down. And I think Thiago Moises will be able to get him on the ground. He's got very good takedowns. Thiago Moises. He's very slick when the way he moves on the ground. He gets those very slick submissions, and he can also he's also decent on the feet as well. So I like Thiago Moises to win this one here. I think he wins. I'm going to say he wins by submission or decision in this one, man.
It, if Thiago Moises wasn't such a disappointment to me overall, like it should be him all day. But he is. But I'm still going to be picking Thiago Moises. It's just that I had more hope for him considering all his skills. He should be better than 19-8. But I just think it's all his skills are just that much better everywhere than Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon, what he has is good volume. He's well rounded. You mentioned his takedown defense. Sometimes it looks terrible, and sometimes it looks half decent. But I think if Moises gets his takedowns going, It's definitely going to be a long night for Gordon. Uh, Even his striking, it's coming along like incrementally, but not enough. But he's not afraid to pressure either, Moises. So he's got to withstand some volume by Jared Gordon. Don't give up on those takedowns, and I feel he should lock up a sub at some point, probably late second round or third round. So give me a Moises by sub or decision.
Yeah, Thiago Moises is a tough dude, man. Don't forget he beat Melquizael Costa, who we're going to talk about, who's actually in this card. Uh, he also beat Mitch Ramirez. He knocked him out, and he also beat Trey Ogden. The Thiago only loses to really good fighters. Like he lost to Ludovic Klein by unanimous decision, and he got knocked out by Benoit Saint Denis. So, and we just saw Benoit Saint Denis look awesome last week. So.
Also, let's not forget the 6 year age difference in favor of Moises here.
Yeah, exactly. Moises being the younger guy too. So Moises, this is a fight I like for this guy here. I like him to win. So we're in agreement with this one here. Nice. Let's move on up to the main event of the prelims here. We got Gabriel Green, or Gifted, against Mateus Camilo here.
Okay, I put some thought into this, man, and I'm gonna have to go with Gabe Green on this one. I know it's probably gonna be an unpopular pick. I know he's the dog. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how big of a dog he is right now, but hear me out for a second. He's moving down to lightweight here, right? So he's gonna be a bigger guy than Camilo. I know he got knocked out in his last fight, and I know it's been a long layoff, but in this case, I think that long layoff was a very good idea after he got knocked out the way he did, and at the point that his age 32 when he did. I think it was a called for opportunity to rest that chin if anything was wrong. And no brawling. Don't get into a brawl with Camilo. Work those takedowns because he does have the takedowns, and he's also capable of getting subs. That's where most of his wins come from. And if you notice, Camilo, two of his losses, where they come from, being submitted. So that's something to look out for. Camilo is also very aggressive, has some power, but at the same time has faced very weak competition. Like Gabe Green has been he's a veteran here, and I think he's going to have something to prove coming back. I got to go with Gabe Green here on the comeback until Mateus here shows me a little more. What about you, real deal?
Yeah, no, I can't trust Gabe Green. I can't trust him, man. Gabe Green is hasn't fought in almost 2 years. Last fight was against Brian Battle, where he got knocked out with a right hook.
Yeah,
Uh,
I got into a brawl with Brian Battle, but you can't say you wanted him fighting again like 2 months after that happened, though. You know?
oh, for sure, but I mean the layoff is still almost 2 years, and then the fight before that was against Ian Machado Gary. He lost a unanimous decision there. He managed to beat Johan Lainez by knockout and Phil Rowe by unanimous decision. Those were his last two wins, and then before that, he lost to Daniel Rodriguez. So I don't know if I really trust in Gabe Green with that big long layoff. Not to mention he's 32 years old. This guy Mateus Camilo is 24 years old. 8 year difference. He's young. He's powerful. He's hungry, and he's looking to make a nice debut in the UFC here. Now, Mateus Camilo started training with the at the infamous Brazilian gym called Nova União, which is the gym where Jose Aldo trains. So he's been training with Jose Aldo a lot, and he just recently moved to Las Vegas to fight with Extreme Couture now. And he's very well rounded. He's got knockout power. He's got very good jiu-jitsu skills and submissions. You can see here in his 9 wins, 4 knockouts, 2 subs, 3 decisions there. He's going to be, yes, I do agree that he might be not as big as far as maybe thickness or muscularity than Gabe Green, but he's also a very tall guy at 5'10". They're the same height, so I think Mateus Camilo will still look pretty decent facing off to Gabriel Green. And I like that he just fought 4 months ago in the lower level promotions and won a unanimous decision there. And he also was in the Tough Enough and Fury promotions as well, where he was subbing guys and getting knockouts as well. So I think the fact that you can see here, Gabe Green lost 3 out of his 5 fights by knockout, and again, much recently the knockout to Brian Battle. I got to go with Mateus Camilo. I think he gets a knockout here. I think he's going to touch that chin of Gabe Green, hurt him, and pretty much knock him out. If not, he could even win by decision. So I'm going to go knockout or decision for Mateus Camilo. I think he does enough here to beat Gabe Green. I think he's a little bit better than Gabe Green. So there you have it. We disagreed on this one, but
And yeah, but plus also, if he loses this fight, it's just gonna say, come on, I took it on. I took it. It wasn't even my weight class, so they're probably gonna give him another chance anyway.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I like this newcomer Mateus Camilo. He looks really really good. Watched him fight, man. He's got the skills to beat Gabe Green, I'm sure, after all that long layoff, man. And so yeah, man, like and subscribe, guys. I hope we kill it again this week. I'm so happy I switched my pick there from Bruno Silva to Marc-André Barriault last week. That put me at that 9-3 week last week, man. Otherwise, I would have been 8-4. So I'm glad. And you finished 8-4, which is still decent. But if you would have stuck with me with Marc-André Barriault, man, I had a feeling he was going to win. But
Hey man, when my dogs hit, we're happy. So that's what we're looking for this week coming.
let's kill it this week, guys. Peace out. Stay tuned for the main card coming up next.